Hello, friends. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's live webinar. My name is Christy from Success Website. And for those of you who are familiar with Success Website and what we do, you'll know that we do a lot of live training. Every week, we invite our members onto a call like this through Zoom, where we train you on how to use the platform and how to implement some of these strategies in real time. And this week, we are also inviting other guests to join and to learn, because we're going to be covering some information today that I think is going to be helpful to all of you as real estate agents. Listings are your biggest asset, product, marketing tool. And we're going to be talking about how to leverage your listings to generate leads and more listings, which I think would be wonderful for all of you on the call to do more of. How to leverage your listings, proven strategies for marketing listings to win more listings. That is the idea. And if you are implementing or ready to implement any one of these strategies, I would say you're putting yourself at the head of the pack, right? We're going to be going through various things. A lot of them have to do with technology. Even if you don't have listings right now, you can use these techniques on other listings that you can promote, right, and generate buyer leads for. So here's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn a little bit about SMS lead capture strategies, how to use text codes as a way to generate leads and get more accurate phone numbers into your CRM. We're also going to learn how to post on Facebook to generate leads and also follow up with those leads using AI. We have an AI qualifier that can really help to follow up with those Facebook leads. And we're also going to learn about retargeting and how to effectively use your CRM to retarget and remarket to people who are already in your database using a listing specific action plan. So we've got a lot of really amazing content to go through today, and let's get into it. Now, just a little bit of an intro. Success Website, we've been around for a while. We've been helping real estate businesses grow for over 27 years. We're partners with Craig Proctor in his real estate coaching program. So in this slide, you can see a picture of Craig and our founder, Steve. And we've been working with Craig Proctor coaching members for 27 years. And if you know anything about Craig Proctor, you know how much he focuses on the marketing side of the business. That really is his primary focus with his coaching. He wants to teach all realtors how to be effective digital marketers, or just marketers in general. We focus more on the digital side, but we've learned a lot throughout those years of working with Craig and his members. So let's talk a little bit about the problems that you all face and get real here. We know that you're facing challenges when it comes to attracting new business, very competitive atmosphere out there, and a lot of changes happening fairly quickly. We know that there's intense competition. So realtors face stiff competition from other agents, discount brokerages, and online platforms that offer similar services at lower costs. We also know that your challenge is generating high quality leads. Many agents spend a lot of money generating leads that don't yield any results. And then navigating shifts in technology. This is definitely, I would say, a key challenge that we address with our members on a regular basis. It's important to adapt. It's important to be familiar with all of the new technology that is coming into the marketplace. The increasing use of AI, big data, mobile applications. It's really important to stay relevant. And we also know that as far as the technology side is concerned, it's really important to meet certain requirements to grow your real estate business. You have to have a CRM. Okay, it's just non-negotiable now. You really have to have a CRM, That's where you're going to have all of your lead data. That's where all of your follow-up activities are going to happen. So that's very, very important. Having someone to manage your advertising is also extremely helpful. Now, a lot of the things that we teach you today can actually help you run your own ads and be a better marketer that way. But at the end of the day, this is probably a task or a job that you're going to want to outsource or pass on to somebody else to take care of. So that is, I would say, an important requirement to consider when you're looking at growth and positioning yourself for growth. And then high level support and training. If you are looking into web platforms or any type of CRM, it's really, really important to have that support and that training. A lot of CRMs these days or website platforms will give you access to perhaps some video training or some online help documents, not one-on-one training or a person that is dedicated to helping you learn these things. So that's also something that you're going to want to look for. So here at Success, we always take a strategic approach. We talk a lot about having a system in place that you can lock down, build a fence around it, find something that works, and then rinse and repeat, right? So the strategic approach is summed up in these 4 steps. Essentially, you need to be targeting and attracting new leads into your funnel, right? That's really important. So that is knowing who your ideal audience is, and then having a system or an approach to generating leads into your CRM. New lead generation, so direct response marketing, that's something that we use for lead gen. Automated follow-up, another system that you're going to want to make sure you've implemented, so when leads come into your CRM, you're following up automatically. And then also having a system to retarget and deliver value to the leads within your CRM, because as you know, it's pretty difficult to reach these leads sometimes. It can take days, weeks, months to get a hold of them, and quite often it can take 10 to 12 touches before anyone responds to your marketing. So it's really important to have that strategic approach, have a system in place that is going to automatically be sending out information for you. And that's a big part of what we're going to be going through today. Let's get into the marketing strategy, leverage your listings. So the first strategy we're going to look at today is SMS lead capture strategy. Keep in mind, all the things we're going through today, you can use in your listing presentations to impress your sellers. These are great to include in a listing presentation, can really set you apart from the competition. And this particular strategy is essentially the new sign call. Now, you're all familiar with for sale signs and sign writers that you can put on your signs. How many of you are using text in your sign writers to encourage people to text you to get more information on a property? I look at signs all the time as I'm walking around the neighborhood. Very seldom do I see any sort of call to action on the sign itself. It usually has a picture of the agent, their brokerage, maybe a phone number, maybe usually a website, their general website, but there rarely is a call to action for me to get access to more information on that property. These sign writers you can have printed up with specific codes that will give people access to photos of the property, the price, the details, and all they have to do is text in a code to your marketing number. So the way that it works is essentially, and you can try this yourselves, actually, you could text the keyword 123 main to this number to see how it works. So if you text 123 main to the number on the screen here, right? 657-222-2267. You'll notice what happens when you do that. You'll immediately get something back, a series of messages, actually. So you can try it out right now. But the idea is that you can generate more leads from your sign writers using these codes for specific properties. But you can also use them on postcards, print ads, flyers, business cards, bus benches. The idea is to get more people texting you for information. And when they do, you will have an accurate phone number, right? It's impossible for them to give you a fake phone number because they have to actually use their phone to send you the text. So you could text them back, you could call them back. I'll show you a use case, actually. We have a client, Len Wan. He is a top realtor out in Calgary. He's been using SMS codes on his sign writers for many, many years. He generates hundreds of leads a month from these sign writer codes. But essentially what he does is he has a series of writers with specific codes on them. In this case, 055 is the code. And on the sign writer, it says text 055 to the phone number to see this home. And when people do that, what they get is essentially what you see in this center image here. This is actually a screenshot from a lead that came into the CRM. So they immediately get the link to the listing. So that info includes photos, links, and at that point, Len's team can follow up with that prospect, right? So they can call, text, and they know exactly what listing that particular person came in from. Another use case here would be a bus bench, right? So this is a top Colorado real estate agent, Bill Watson, who's been using SMS codes on his bus benches to promote his USP, unique selling proposition, which in this case, your home sold, guaranteed, or we buy it. So instead of using a number for the text code, he uses the word sold. So the sign says call or text sold to his marketing number to get more information, right? So when the person texts in, the lead immediately receives a text back with a link to the landing page on Bill's website that explains the guarantee. And also Bill's team can follow up with that phone number, knowing that they came in from that specific ad on that sign. So there's a lot of ways to use this. And I really like it because you get that verified phone number. It's really useful data to have that have a valid phone number. And quite often, because people came in through a text message, they prefer to communicate through text. So don't be afraid to carry on that conversation through text until they're ready to have a call. Use that as an opportunity to build some trust, build some rapport. You're automatically fulfilling their request and getting them the information, which is what you want to do, and really lean into the text channel as a way to move that lead into the next stage, which ideally is a conversation, a live conversation. Okay. Now, the next strategy here is something that very few agents are doing, but I would imagine over the next few years, we're going to see more of it, and that is WebAlerts. This is a messaging technology that lets you send short, real-time alerts to your subscribers, to your followers, even when they are not on your website. So this is a push notification that comes through somebody's browser, essentially, and will allow you to share your content without an email, without a phone number, without someone being on your website. It is really, really cool technology. So let's take a look at how to implement this strategy. Now, we know that 95% of visitors to your website will leave without identifying themselves, right? That's a pretty accurate statistic. So how can we capture those people that come to our site, but they don't want to necessarily give their information? They don't want to fill out a form with their name, their email, and their phone number. So essentially, your website would have an alert that comes up that offers the opportunity for people to subscribe. So this box here is an example of the alert that would pop up on your website that allows people to opt in. Okay, so what we're offering is just free information, listing updates, promotions, things that they're going to be hopefully interested in receiving. And if they are interested, they hit this button, yes, I'm interested. And that's it. After they've done that, they're subscribed. Or they could say, no, not interested. And then the box goes away. But the idea is to get as many people who visit your site to click on yes, because essentially now they're going to be subscribed to the web alerts. So let's take a look at some examples of the type of content that you can push out through these specific alerts, okay? Special offers, listing alerts, so price drops, if you've got a new listing, open house, educational content, if you want to share a blog post or a newsletter, exclusive offers, testimonial highlights. So all of the content that you have within your website or that you would normally share through your email promotion or other types of advertising that you do, you can share through these web alerts, and they would just get pushed through and pop up as a notification on the subscriber's computer or their phone, right? It can work on both desktop and mobile devices. So let's give you a use case on this one, and I'll explain this, how one of our top agents in San Diego, George Lorimer, has been using WebAlerts to send that content to his followers, even when his website is not open on their browser. So George has been with success for probably over a decade at this point. He's been using the WebAlert system maybe for, I'd like to say over a year, perhaps. And during that time, he has built up 222 subscribers. So this is actually a screenshot from his control center where I can see the most recent numbers. So he's got 222 people who have subscribed to his web alert. And every week, he's sending out real-time notifications, sharing his blog content, sharing new listings, whatever he feels he wants to share with that audience. He'll basically create a web alert, send it out, and then what it does is it gets delivered and it will drive traffic back to his website. So it does drive awareness. Again, people are getting that top of mind benefit. They see that information from George. It's not an email, it's not a text, it's not an ad that's online. It's actually a notification that's getting pushed through into their browser or desktop, and it will also include content and then links back to his website to view the information. This can be extremely powerful if you are using it consistently. Just like anything, if you are consistently sending out that content through web alerts, you're going to find that you start to build more activity, more awareness, and it's also a very impressive marketing tool to share with your sellers. Let them know this is something that you do as part of your digital marketing strategy. Very, very cool. Now, the third strategy we're going to look at here is Facebook ads to promote your listings and to generate leads with an AI follow-up plan to qualify. So we've got a couple of things going on in this particular example, and I'll explain it all and how it all works. But it starts with getting your listings onto the website so that we can market those listings, right? If you've got a website that allows you to create listing specific landing pages, that's step number one. And once we have that in place, we like to set up listing ads on Facebook. Now, actually, I should say it's in the ads manager that also covers Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. So all of those channels are included, but these are paid ads. So this is different from just posting on your business page or just posting on Instagram and letting people know you have a new listing. These are actually paid ads. They're lead gen ads. It's a very specific type of objective within Facebook, and you can run them for as low as $5 a day. So very, very inexpensive to run, but you'll find that you get a lot more exposure for your listings this way. Now, there's a couple of tricks that we use when we're running these property-specific ads on Facebook. We want to make sure that they are connected to your business page, first and foremost. You should all have a business page on Facebook that you're using for your business. Some of you may just have a personal profile, or you may have a business page that is your name and it's more branded style. Whatever you've got, it should be a business page on Facebook. So if you're not sure the difference between your personal profile and a business, then that's another topic that maybe we can cover during the Q&A portion of this. But really important to have that asset, have your business be a separate entity on Facebook. So that's step number one. And then we can start running these ads that are connected to your business for your listings. We like to include 3 or 4 feature points, like key features, nice photo of the property, or we can do a carousel where there's multiple photos that people can view. The idea, though, is to get them to click on this little button here at the bottom, learn more. Okay, that's the idea. And actually, if they click on anything within this ad, it's going to pop up that form to get the person's contact information to get them through. We do omit things intentionally, things like the address. Sometimes we don't include the address. Sometimes we don't include the price. We do want people to go to that next step and actually request information about that listing. That's how the lead is generated, right? So once they click on learn more, their information gets auto-populated into the form, and then they just need to submit it. That's how the lead comes through. Typically, when we run these ads, we see leads come in for usually under $5 per lead. And it's another great thing to say to your sellers is I'm going to be actively marketing your property on Facebook and generating leads of people who are genuinely interested in your property. Sellers really love to see that. In fact, if they are following your business on Facebook, chances are they're going to see your ad for their listing, which I think most sellers would like to see. Now, probably about a month or so ago, I did an interview with Dion Irwin. If you, I don't have an easy link for this, but what we do have a YouTube channel that we'd love you to subscribe to, actually. Rob or Sobia, if you don't mind sharing a link to our YouTube channel in the chat, that would be amazing. But you can view the interview that Dion and I had, where we talked about how she has become one of the top listing agents in her area, how she essentially dominates her marketplace, and what she does to manage to get so many new listings. So that's a really great interview that you can check out. But in this particular use case, I wanted to highlight how Dion is using the Success Ad Management System to promote her listings on Facebook. And we're also using our stay in contact system for the AI follow-up. So if you look at this image here, this is essentially what happens. The lead clicks on learn more, and then this form pops up and their information is automatically populated into the form. They hit next, and then they get a link to view that property online. So we're automatically fulfilling their request, just like we are with the SMS text messaging. It's really important to make sure you have a fulfillment system that is automatic. So that we're giving them access to the listing, but the lead is also coming through into the CRM. Let's talk about the AI lead qualifier. And I know it might be tricky to read the text on my screen, but essentially this is a conversation between AI and a new lead that came in from one of Dion's listing ads on Facebook. When it comes to Facebook ads and leads, there are some challenges. Facebook leads can be tricky because they don't necessarily have a very high level of intent. What I mean by that is they did not go to Facebook to find property information. That wasn't their intention when they opened up the app on their phone and started to scroll through. So the quality of those leads can be challenging just because they're not as motivated as, say, a Google lead, where someone is actively searching for real estate information and then they see your ad because they searched for it. So for that reason, Facebook leads, they are less expensive, but they can also be difficult to convert. And that's why having automated systems and having AI to deal with those leads can be extremely helpful. It's easy to get a lot of them because the barrier to entry is so low, right? The friction is so low when it comes to those Facebook leads, but it's hard to get a hold of them. So in this case, the AI follow-up is immediately engaging with that lead when it comes in, sending out a text message to get more information from that person. And the way that we've programmed this is as a lead qualifier. So the goal is to ask a series of questions that's going to establish the timing, the motivation, what that person may be looking for in their next home, and if they have a home to sell, if they've been pre-approved. All of these questions we've been taught throughout the years are key when you are following up, an essential part of the universal follow-up script. So we program the AI to ask these questions, and as you can see, it works. People respond, and when they do, the AI will carry on that conversation. So that solves a big problem that I often see with our clients. And you can let me know if you experience this as well. Your leads come in, but you're just not getting to them quickly enough, right? Maybe it takes hours, maybe it takes days, maybe it takes so long that you decide, I can't. It's been too long. I shouldn't follow up with this person now, right? Don't let those leads fall through the cracks. Having some sort of automated follow-up system can be extremely helpful and really take that burden off of your shoulders, where you know that that follow-up is happening, but you'll also be able to monitor the conversation and monitor the activity within, well, in our case, within the app, right? So you want to make sure that you're monitoring this. It's not completely hands off. You know, this is still a business where you do need to talk to people and have those conversations. But at least you know that you've got something on the back end that is automatically engaging with those leads and trying to carry on that conversation. And this can go on for as long as it needs to, right? If somebody is engaging with the AI and they continue to chat with it, it will also continue to chat with the prospect. And it's actually remarkable the types of responses that it comes up with. Always polite, always relevant, and certainly is, I think, just as good as having as an assistant who is essentially keeping an eye on all of your leads and making sure that they get a response. So very, very cool AI technology that you can use when you are generating leads that may not be of the highest quality. Okay, number 4 is a big one because this covers a few things that I think are absolutely essential. One being the open house registration system. So you all know what open houses are, how they work. Usually there's a form that people fill out to get in. We're going to show you a way to handle that in a digital way. And then also using action plans to remarket to your database. Okay, so using your property specific action plans to retarget older leads, wake up the database, use your listings as the content to do that. Let's talk a little bit about the re-engagement plan first. If you have a CRM, then you probably have action plans. That's pretty standard in most CRMs. What we always recommend is when you have a new listing and you have it in the website, let's use a multi-channel communication plan to re-engage your CRM. So the leads in your database are not there to collect dust, okay? The idea is to always have communication plans that we're sending out to re-engage with those leads, to wake them up, to let them know you're still here, right? You're still here, you're still trying to get through to them, you're still providing value and content. So don't be afraid to communicate with your database. Listings are a perfect example of the type of content that you can be sharing. This particular plan that we're looking at, and this is essentially a plan that exists within the CRM for a listing, that first nudge is a ringless voicemail. Okay, so that's the first touch. Okay, we call it nudge. You may be familiar with the word touch, but that's the first part that goes out. And that voicemail is your voice. Okay, that shouldn't be AI. That should actually be your voice letting your prospects know that you have a new listing and that you're going to be providing them with more information on that property. The second touch is an MMS. MMS is a multimedia, in this case, it's a photo of the property. So they first get that voicemail, and then they receive a text with an image of the property. And then immediately after, they get a third text with a personal message to them with a link to the property that is on your website. And then the fourth touch is an email with more information on that property. So we're using 4 channels for our communication. And this is going to be impossible for someone to ignore, right? You're really taking a multi-channel approach to promoting your listing. Another amazing benefit to offer to your sellers, to say, I'm going to be marketing your property to all of my best prospects within my CRM, of which there are 10,000. Like you can give them a number of leads that you have in your CRM, right? Sometimes people actually have a whole stack of buyers in waiting that they like to present during their listing presentations. But this should actually be implemented, right? You should be doing this when you have a listing, market it to your database. Now, the second part of this is about new leads. And this is when you have an open house. Instead of having a sheet, a form that people can scribble in their chicken scratch, their name and their phone number and their email that you won't be able to read after, have them scan a QR code and then go to a specific open house registration page on your website. So this is a very simple form that you have on your site for that listing. And you can try this actually. I don't know if it should work. If you hold your phone up to that QR code, you will see that this actually goes to a real page. And that way, anyone who goes to an open house, they're going to automatically go through to your CRM. Now, the QR code itself, it does need to be set up, right? There are some technical things that need to happen there. What I like to do is make sure that the QR code is directing someone to a tracking URL. Now, a URL, as you know, is a website address. It's a specific address on the web that people can go to. But you can also have tracking URLs that include a tracking code so that when the lead comes in from that open house, you know exactly where they came from. That's really important. You want to know exactly what page, what campaign, how did this person end up in my CRM? Really important information. So the information in that QR code is important. We want to make sure that it's going to the right place. So there are some technical things that need to happen, but you also want to make it super easy for people to fill this out on their phone. That way, you're not going to run into any issues with people complaining that, that it's not working or that they're having trouble. You don't want to be driving them to a long website name or things like that. Just give them a QR code, make sure that it's going to the right place, and you'd be surprised at how effective it is in getting those open house leads into your CRM. And once you have them in your CRM, that's when we can start our re-engagement plans. That's when we can put them onto things like our monthly newsletter. We can have them be a part of a special activity plan. What I like to do is make sure that we have a follow-up plan specifically for that open house in place for those leads. And that brings us to our next use case. So this gentleman, Dan J, he is a top SoCal realtor. He's out in Corona, actually. And he's just recently implemented this for his open houses. And we've connected a re-engagement plan to market also his new and sold listings to his best prospects. And it's always a challenge for me to create visuals for these things because a lot of them are systems and there's so many steps often that goes into it. But I'll do my best to explain this because it is really important to understand how this flow works. When the lead comes in from that open house landing page, okay, we know exactly where it's coming from. So we can launch this action plan, which includes an email and a text message that is all about thanking them for attending the open house. If you're interested, here's where you can get more information on the property. So we're sending out an email and a text. Now that can be delayed, right? You don't necessarily want to send that right away because they could still be in the house. And if they're getting emails and texts from you while they're in the house, that's a bit weird. What we'll want to do is delay it so that they receive it 2 hours, 3 hours after the lead comes in. So after they attended the open house. And in this case, it did get a response, right? He got a call back and he got a text back that was quite positive. Someone was really interested in that property. And to me, that's just a perfect example of things working exactly the way that they should. Instead of having this list of names that you have to go now back into your CRM and type them all in and make sure they've got the right tags and put in your notes. That can take a lot of time, and sometimes people just end up like with these stacks of paper and they don't actually put them into their CRM, which again is a huge wasted opportunity. So if you have a system like this, it really can save you a ton of time and boost your efficiency 100%. Yes, it does require a little bit of setup, right? You got to make sure that all these things are in place before the open house. It's not something that you can be doing an hour before the open house happens. It's much easier to print out a sign-in sheet in that case, but it's worth the effort. And once you have it, for one, you can always, again, rinse and repeat. Copy that page, change the address, create a new QR code, copy that action plan, change the listing. And if you're a client of success, we can certainly help you with all of these things and make sure that it's all set up properly. But all of the tools that I'm showing you really are things that can be done within a robust website or CRM system. So what you really have to ask yourself right now is, does your website and does your CRM do the following things? Do you have the ability to create property-specific landing pages? Are you provided with a marketing number that you can send voicemail, text messages, MMS messages to your database? Are you able to connect your listings to a specific action plan template that includes all of those things: text, ringless voicemail, MMS, and email? Does your CRM have the ability to automate follow-up plans for new leads based on a specific campaign? Okay, does your CRM have the ability to identify exactly where those leads are coming from and launch a specific action plan based on that information? Are you allowed to create custom landing pages like the open house registration page? Does your website have landing page templates that you can easily plug in to create your own custom pages? And does your CRM allow you to create SMS codes to generate leads, like a specific code for a listing, or perhaps the keyword sold that you can use on your signage and your print, your billboards, anything that people are going to read and be able to text to you to get more information? And then finally, does your platform allow you to capture traffic and market through push notifications, right? Do you have a system where you can actually collect subscribers and then communicate with them through a web alert or a push notification? Now, if you are a client of success, the answer is yes to all of these things. If you are not, then you may want to turn to your provider and ask if there are tools like this that exist within their platform. There may be, and you just aren't aware of them, or perhaps they don't have these things, right? But it's really important to be aware of them so you know the right questions to ask. So again, back to really the heart of all of this, and that is always having a strategic approach to things. But really, if you can implement just one of these, you will notice a huge difference in how much you can gain from marketing your listings. And, we don't just market listings, of course. You could adopt these strategies for marketing a hot list of homes, or perhaps a home evaluation. We have all sorts of marketing campaigns that we can use, that we have in our toolbox. So today we're focusing specifically on listings because listings are such an important part of the real estate business. But a lot of these strategies can definitely be used for other types of campaigns. So I want to again thank you for joining us. I hope you found this information helpful. We will be back in a couple of weeks with another great topic to share with you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you do implement some of these strategies, because in this changing, evolving world of real estate marketing, it's important to stay ahead. Thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful day.